Unimig man.
Unimig.
Unimig.
Got the Unimig gloves, coat, welder.
No, and we were a bit hesitant, thinking we were spending more money for this build, but it's definitely.
This thing's paid itself off. This thing is so good. This is the NV250.
Yeah.
And don't need the glasses only for welding. This is the Unimig NV250. Decided to purchase this welder to do this build, just part of the cost of the build.
Yep.
And because I've got the Lincoln Powercraft 200, was never really happy with that welder. This is an old BOC industrial, which is actually a form of a Kempe welder.
Which is years old now.
And I had an old TIG which died years ago. So so we decided to build this boat build, just a tinny renovation, and we decided to purchase this Unimig 250 NV for the build. So the reason we wanted to get it, I was watching all the videos. They look very capable, and I've welded up. I've built that trailer over there, so we're actually going to show you. I built that trailer years ago.
Oh, 10, 12, 15 years ago.
Aluminium overlay.
Yep.
So so I've welded aluminium before, but it's always been never to the standard that I always wanted. It's just been a welder. So I wanted to spend a few extra dollars and get something that can still run on single phase power. And this thing has been absolutely easy to use.
I was just going to say, you've mentioned it many times how easy the menu is to navigate through.
The menu is very easy to navigate. I've pretty much just set it up onto the standard of the preset settings, and then I've just only pretty much all I do is just go up mainly on the amperage. I don't go the Y speed much. I mainly just go on the amperage, go from say whatever I'm welding from 113 amps, maybe down to 98 or.
And that's easy on the handle.
And it's just you can just adjust it on the handle. You can see the Unimig videos. It's very easy. I find that I also watched all their videos, and I also did the Weld Doctor videos. Daniel, I find his content very helpful, and we did the online course, which I've learned a lot more about the welding with the tacking side of things and stuff like that. So, yeah, the Unimig is very good. I just got to get the thermal match of things.
Yes, we would like, as you can see, we're making a makeshift. We would love to get the Unimig helmet. And a trolley.
I like the air-fed helmet, just to get a bit of air in the face.
And the actual welding trolley.
Because I've just got on the snap-on trolley there.
But it's not ideal, but we'd love to get the proper trolley.
The trolley that has the drawers and that in it, so that's the next thing, hopefully. But, and it's just excellent. It's just been so easy to use. And there's a lot of, and if you Google or just AI, whatever the call is now, about if you need to know anything, the book's quite extensive, the manual comes with it. But you can just AI it, and it also tells you some settings where to start. So it's very close straight out of the box what it does is. And if you know a little bit about welding, you know what's hot and what's cold. The hot start, I had to turn the hot start up a bit from where it was factory settings. I think it's up to 133%, or it might be 123% now. I'll play with that a bit. And the hot start definitely I tweaked that up a little bit, and that there has just made it so good for tacking now. So obviously it's 130 amp now, what I just speak of, and then it's obviously, I'll have to go through the settings to find out what the hot start was at, but it makes the tacking very easy. I just keep the nozzles clean. Well, one thing I did learn, mistake I did learn was I wasn't familiar with the 1.2 tips for aluminium and 1.2 tips for the steel. I had all the aluminiums that came in the box with the A on it, and then when I bought, because I was running 1.2 wire, when I bought more tips, I just bought 1.2 tips. And I had a lot of feed troubles, and I didn't realise why.
We weren't wondering why. You were quite.
So I couldn't work out why. And then someone went and bought some from the shop, and he said, these are the ones. And I said, that's bullshit. They're the same ones I got. And he said, they don't make bigger than 1.2. And I questioned, I Googled it, watched it.
But there's a little letter different, isn't it? It's got
a letter A stamped on it.
For aluminium.
So that means for aluminium. And I realised straight away the bore of the tips is a lot bigger on the A. So, so straight away, make sure when you're running the aluminium. So I've had the 1.2 wire in it. I'm actually currently running the 1mm wire now. I've run out of the 1.2, but I'm finding the 1mm wire for this application, I'm finding it feeds just a little bit nicer through the machine, and it's a little bit more forgiving with the weld temperatures. So that's only my opinion. I'm not a welder, but I find that it was after running the 1.2 with running a bit hotter, it seems to be, for this application, is the 53, 56 1mm Unimig wire. And 100% argon, of course, and running 22, 25 litres a minute. Yeah, so it's 100% if you want to do any fab work, and seriously consider your budget of going maybe stepping up to the 250 if you can afford it. I know it's a little bit more money, but I think with the bigger tips, the bit bigger gun, I think it's just a bit more robust.
Depending on what you're wanting to plan on building your future builds, but
look at the price, ask around, and then maybe I'll do you a deal, because I went to buy a 230 and they had no 230s left, and they done me a bit better deal on the 250, which I was so happy with. That was at Sydney Tools, maybe?
Sydney Tools on Mackay,
Sydney Tools, yeah. So they looked after me there. Well, they just offered to drop it a bit. So super happy with that deal. Done a little bit of the TIG. I like TIGging, but I haven't done much with this TIG. I got it dialed in, and then I haven't done no more with it since. I'm too stoked with the MIG, and I found this just does it so quick and easy, and it's absolutely given me no trouble whatsoever, except for that tip error. This thing has not.
Oh, and the feed probably. Because we're doing a lot of work at the start of the build, up high in the boat, the front end, and you need to be able to have your welder, if possible, up high to give that good...
So what Rachel's saying is...
So I was starting to hold his... I was holding it then up
and
high.
I even had the 1.2 tip. When I was welding on the front end trolley,
of the,
and I had the trolley down below the boat, and the wire went up...
and then had like a big loop.
The lead, and I tried to straighten it out. It would start out welding good, then it would just go back and and then start feeding issues. It this was quite straight. It just liked to be straight. Whereas the 1 mil wire hasn't given me that problem. It's only been the 1.2, which I was running the 53, 56, 1.2 as well. But it wasn't.
But we were advised by like the best, if you could hang the welder.
Everyone's told me to hang the welder.
But it was another thing we had to build then to do that. So we were like, oh, I'd be right.
Every shop I've been to, fab shop, hangs the welder. Everyone told me to do it. I've bought the gantry, I've bought everything to hang the welder.
We just haven't done it.
Haven't bought the rail yet, I'll get it, but I'll probably do it at the end of the job.
Yeah, probably.
If I advise anyone who's building something like this, hang your welder. If you do it first, I should have took the advice, because every shop does it for a reason. It just feeds so much nicer when the lead's hanging down. So.
And you can get right over your job without being hampered by your trolley, basically.
So I think one thing, I know they got the handles on the Unimig, I would probably like to see...
somewhere to hang it.
Maybe somewhere a bit, because you don't want to hang like a chain or something or a sling around the handle. I'd prefer maybe seeing the top of it with a designated hang point, possibly. That's metal, that you could have like a D-shackle on or whatever you want. So it's designated for hanging it, because you can run a sling around.
But even somewhere to put that, there's no spot.
So this is the TIG handle.
So you got somewhere for it.
So this goes here, but there's nowhere just to hang this. So I've been putting this in here.
Just for now.
It sits there, but if it wants to fall out, I believe that because this is where this is supposed to go.
That's meant to go, and there should be another spot for it.
That's a really good fit up. Like, that's really nice there where that sits or whatever it does.
Yeah, but when you have that there, then there's nowhere for this.
I believe this here should have maybe one above the other. So I'm going to actually make maybe a bracket that can hang the two. Hang one lower, because this will be the one I don't use much. And maybe this out.
I'm not sure, the trolley might have this, but we don't have the
Unimig. Yeah, if we had a trolley Unimig, we might have it somewhere to hang it.
Yeah, but anyway.
But I believe for people who don't have this, I mean, you can use that. And if I see it wants to fall out, it doesn't quite sit there really nice. And it doesn't sit in the trolley or anything. So I think Unimig, I'd really like to see... a
second holder. Because not everyone's going to get the trolley, because again, it's another cost. It's another expense.
So it does sit there, but I'd like to see... Because that's a really good idea. I'd like to see maybe one there or one back here personally, even back further. And this one hangs here so I can't touch it. Or maybe just, and have a look at this, is a very simple idea. This one's just got a, it's just a pipe.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's
just
simple.
a pipe.
I don't think you need to overthink it.
Just a pipe with a steel liner. Like that there fits in really good. So actually that's what I'm going to build. I'm going to get a piece of aluminium pipe, and I'm going to make the 3 holes on that. I'm going to make one of those and put a pipe on the side of it. Unimig, that idea come from me, but you can certainly use it for thumb-burn fishing. So anyway, that's my review on the Unimig. Totally believe it's worth.
And literally, you have, I must admit, passed this on to quite a few people. Have been on the thought of a welder, and he said, "You go this, don't you? But you won't regret it." So
this is a little review on the welder. And we've welded. So we've already welded. So this box here, I'm not gonna TIG this box. This box will be hidden inside the boat, so you're not going to see the weld. So I'm happy just to MIG this out. The MIG does a great job.
But it's turned out, I'm really...
the MIG does. It's just done a great job of this. I run at about 89 amps on that there, And that's 7. I did a video, another one if you watch this channel, 7.3 Y speed, I think it was. And that welded really nice there. I don't want to take it, like, I mean, it would look nice if it was presentable, but I'm just going to
yeah, but we're not. It's not on show. This one.
It's not on show.
It's
so
going
it's going to be
hiding.
carpeted inside too. So I've just tacked the shit of it inside. I'm just going to carpet inside of it. So anyway, thanks for the little video on my thoughts on the Unimig 250.
Oh, that's smick. Actually, no, that's really good.
And I've built it, and I put a bit of thickness on it because the weld's staying there.
Yeah, that looks
good. I could probably go on a little bit more, probably with a smidgen more heat, but
oh, it's just a box. I think that's
the weld sticks there, so I might even go looking at that, maybe 89.
I don't know. That looks.
Because we haven't gone corner to corner, right? Because
we probably should have pushed it out a bit further.
All the rest join corner to corner.
Yep.
But this piece was cut different, which is fine. And also just welding on the side.
Yeah.
All right. All good. Actually, I'll go back a bit. I'm happy with where it was.
Yeah, I think that's coming up all right.
So I adjusted the amperage in, not the volts.
Yep. Totally changed it, but hey, you go from that weld.
Yeah.
You can see that straight away, eh?
So what I'm going to change the next one, I'm just going to leave the same amperage for Y feed.
That's there, and then he just changed it that last section.
Then I'm just going to turn up as Dr. Daniel Weld thinks is to change the trim. So I've got 3.2, so what I'm going to do is maybe let's go about the 3.3, 3.4 on my next weld and see how that, just learning with the welder. Want to learn it, so. How's that come out? Look at that. That's with a bit more.
What'd you change there?
Oh, my hand got the radius off.
Yeah, no, but what'd you change at the top there? What'd you end up doing, you said? Yeah, you put your trim up. 3.2 to 3.4.
Yep, so I changed it for the vertical, for the vertical.
Down. Yep.
So I'm going to try the same thing and leave it on this setting.
Yep.
Shit, to go across. I know it's not the best joint here.
No, we tried pushing it out. I mean, yeah, we're still
I
grateful.
wonder if I should stand that up.
Yep.
And go instead of this.